Okay. Uh, and I wanted to introduce you to guys. I have my friend Aditya. He's in Spain currently, and he recently got a full-time job. He was doing his international business management in Spain, and he can give us an insight on how the culture is in Spain and how did he, struggle to get a full-time job as soon as he completed his master's. And his master's is for 1 year. It's not like what we have in Germany. So, Aditya, over to you. You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry, am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Melvin. So, yeah, the past 1 year, I don't know how much Melvin has briefed about my journey so far. So, it's been an interesting and a challenging one. So, let me just give you a brief background of what I did in the past 1 year or so. So, I got enrolled in IE Business School, which is like ranked in top 10 business schools across the world for the particular Masters in Management program.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, initially I started out as I chose the international business track and slowly I shifted more towards to business analytics and consulting stuff. So because mine was a 1 year fast track course, unlike the 2 year courses that are usually offered in Germany or in France.
Okay.
So I had very limited scope of like how do I say like very little freedom to even look for any part-time jobs or even like that could sustain my lifestyle.
Mm.
So the one thing that was always in my mind was like I have to get it right and I have to act fast and I have to adapt quickly because it's only a matter of an year. So yeah, in between that I did some two internships in fact, both in consulting domain, but I was not able to break into any of the MBBs or Big Four. So once I realized that was not going to happen anytime soon, I slowly shifted my strategy into getting into one of into the startups or getting those internship roles where I start out as an analyst and then slowly build my profile forward. So yeah, currently I have got a position in one of the research labs as a machine learning analyst.
How did you scale up, to have all the relevant skill which is required for you to be in a consultant domain or machine learning domain? Because so basically, guys, me and Aditya are schoolmates, and we just grew apart. He took a biology background, then he shifted to management. So he put in a lot of efforts where he had to learn a lot of different skill set when he had to move to management. So can you give us a little insight on that? What are the resources which you used? Do we have any free resource where we can access it and learn something about consulting or learn something about data analytics?
Yeah, there are like plenty of resources, I would say, that are freely available, but it also depends on the profile that you want to build going ahead. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a separate route if you want to get into consulting. Of course, like preparing for consulting interviews is one thing, but having that profiles is also another thing.
Yeah, true.
So it depends on what background and what kind of educational background and what work experience and what expertise you bring into the table, and depending on that you can customize your profile. As far as machine learning and all these data analytics jobs are concerned, just look into the job descriptions and, and whatever the skill set they ask for, and have 60% of them be
Mm.
ready before you even apply. And I think that is sufficient. But what is more important in data analytics is not how you present your CV,
Okay.
what is the impact that that you have created so far, either be it through your like projects, or be it your I mean free time spent on working on open source, a database building called data science computations, or even like playing around with your with the freely available data sets. Yeah,
Yeah.
that what differs in the analytics domain compared to consulting domain.
Okay. Okay. Um, cool, Aditya. We'll continue later when we talk about part-time jobs and full-time jobs in European domain. I have with me Shreyas and Amruta, who are gonna give you more insight on what's happening in Germany currently and what and all the things which we have to do. So I live in Hamburg, and these are the main cities, is what I feel. There are English-speaking, communities where most of the people speak in English, but yeah, having a German is always an advantage. You can mingle with people, and most of the people, especially in Hamburg, even though they know English, they prefer you to talk to them in German a little. So the percentage is like pretty much good, but still, yeah, getting to know the people in German, it's pretty much better. So when you're trying to move to Germany, make sure that you put in a little effort, at least learn till B1. And I did the same mistake. Now I'm struggling, like going around here and there. I need to ask people, do you speak English? Present English? Then yeah, it's always an hassle. So make sure, guys, you learn a little bit English. You make sure you learn a little bit of German when you move to Germany. And these are the fun facts, is what I feel. We have around 5,000 different varieties of beer, around 3,200 varieties of, bread and sausages. Germans love these, and, it's always a nice conversation point. Just you can ask them when you meet a German friend or a colleague that what kind of bread do you like. They keep explaining, and you can build a proper conversation. And to the main point, the main difference between you moving to Germany is the climate and the time. For most of the part, it gets cold, but you can survive with it. It's not like, okay, it's very cold, I'm not going to go out, I'm not going to go to university. It's just a myth. I get calls from students regarding that. You just choose your university, let it be cold or hot, you can survive here. And Germany has the fourth largest economy, so it's not like you're not going to get any jobs here. There are a lot of jobs which are being open, and it's still growing. And tourism is pretty much amazing. They have started a €9 ticket where you can travel from state to state, city to city, and we also have €49 ticket where you can travel anywhere for free, but you have to take regional one for that. And Germany has 19.3 million immigrants. So it's a very diverse people what you meet there. Especially in Hamburg, I see a lot of Indians, and I never felt homesick for most of the parts. And okay, this is one of the important topics. You can take a screenshot of this. So the TCS has been changed only for the business and other domains when you do international transaction, things like that. But for a student, when he's transferring money to your blocked accounts or your tuition fee, it's typically the same. The only 5% TCS will be charged. So let's just say you're transferring. Oh, sorry, it should be 10 lakh. So 10 lakh amount, the 7 lakh is your limit, and for the 3 lakh, you'll get like 5% of the TCS. and 0.5% when you transfer it through educational loan. So this is the basic thing. Don't get confused by your 20% TCS, which is applicable for transaction for business and tourism, not for us guys. So it's only 5% for the upper limit on our tax bracket for international transactions. Okay. And now, though, most of the students are getting your APS, and also the visa process is undergoing in in the right direction, hopefully. And APS is taking a lot of time, but still. So these are the different blocked account providers. Coracle is very strong with their customer support, and they'll get back to you within a day. And so Expatrio, you have your value package. They had some offer which is going on, and Fintiba, you have different services. And I feel that Coracle is giving a lot at the moment when it comes to customer service, and also they have like different types of uh, health insurance services, and you can open for student colleague and whatsoever. So take a screenshot of this if you want. Okay, let's go to the main part. So, what should I do as soon as we move to Germany? I think we have some things in. Awesome. Okay. First thing, you should get accommodation with the contract. You have no other way around it. So, ask your seniors, and we had a accommodation webinar last week. I'll see if I can make it into a blog or post the old recording where it is pretty much helpful. How do we write to a landlord and make sure that you get a contract? So first you need accommodation with contract. You can just put it in the chat.
Yes, Melvin, it's visible.
Awesome, awesome. So first you need to get accommodation with the contract. We can discuss about that. Then you need to apply for your city registration, and you can apply it online, but it takes quite a bit of time. As soon as you get accommodation with contract, I recommend you to apply for city registration. Then when you get your city registration, you'll get more things where you can benefit from. So when you do your city registration, you'll get your tax ID, and with that tax ID you can open your bank account, and you can use that tax ID for your part-time job. You'll get your social security number, and when you get your tax ID, at the same time you need to apply for resident permit, because for resident permit it takes from 2 to 4 months of time just for the appointment, especially in main cities. So as soon as you finish with your city registration, apply for resident permit, and when you get your tax ID, and you can open your bank account with this. So when you open your bank account, link it to your blocked account, so you get your health insurance activated. So when you get your health insurance activated after a week or so, whatever the provider it is, they'll send you your health insurance number with your health insurance card. You link it to your house arts. House arts is pretty much important, and I think most of the students they ignore it. But get your house arts done. House arts, it's something like they are your personalized doctors. You can go to them without any appointments. And through city registration, you'll get your tax ID and social security number, which is, and also the health insurance number. These three are needed for your part-time and full-time job. And yeah, be very active here, because resident permit takes around 3 months of time. So in Hamburg, they charged us €100 for resident permit, and you need to have sufficient funds when you go for a resident permit meeting. I though had sufficient fund, but I've uploaded documents way long back. Then I got resident permit only for 1 year. It is supposed to be for supposed to be for 2 year, to be on a safer side. Otherwise, it's just a hassle. I think it's the same with you, right, Shreyas?
Yeah, I got my residence permit only for 1 year, so we'll have to apply again and get things
Yeah.
done. When most of our friends have got it for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
it's look only we got it like for 1 year.
Yeah, I think we.
So I guess the key is, right after your city registration, if you get an appointment for residence permit, just take it, because then you can show that your blocked account has enough sufficient funds, and that way they usually give it for 2 years. Actually, that's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, do you have any other points with respect to the flowchart?
No, but with the tax ID, while opening the bank account, you guys can check after coming here, because I guess Pakasa Bank is still allowing students to open their bank account without a tax ID. So it varies from place to place, but in Hamburg, yeah, they're letting you open without a tax ID. So right after your city registration is done, you can just go to the bank and open your account, and you might have to share your tax ID later. But yeah, that varies from city to city. So just check where it is, because usually the tax ID takes longer to come, right? Usually a week or 10 days.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can just do your background study about which bank is letting you open without the tax ID and just go there.
And Commerce Bank is also giving you, letting you open your bank account as soon as you get your admit letter and enrollment, and you have to take your passport. But yeah, in between they were like, for Indians, we are not doing this, and even Spakaja had some issue, but I think it got clarified. But one suggestion is open a bank account which is near to your university, not far away, because if you withdraw money from different ATMs, they'll be charged, €1 to almost €4. So that's a lot of money. You can basically do your, bare minimal grocery shopping with that. So what €3 can get you in Germany, even in main cities like Hamburg, for €3, I think you can get a kilo of chicken. So that's a lot of money. Make sure that you do your research, talk to your seniors, and uh, see what bank account you have to open. And one more important thing is the house arts. I'm stressing it because I had an incident. I had house arts, so for me, it was not a hassle to take an appointment and uh, visit a doctor. If not, you need to take an appointment. Then again, you have to wait for quite a lot of time. Yeah, these are
Okay,
the.
and
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was a question, Melvin, like whether we should do city registration within 2 weeks after coming to Germany. The answer is not really. The reason why it is being said is because after you do your city registration, you get your tax ID, and from tax ID, you make your current account, and from there, you get your blocked account unblocked, right? So that is why they usually it is being circulated that within 2 weeks. I did my city registration after 2 months because I didn't find an accommodation after coming here. So yeah, it was all just
Yeah.
it's nothing like you have to do it within 2 weeks.
Yeah, because there are situations currently in Munich, Berlin, and Hamburg where a student will face a lot of issues for getting accommodation. It takes minimal around 1 to 2 months to search for a house and get a contract with it. So it takes a lot of time. So yeah, don't worry about it. It's just that land accommodation with contract, do your city registration is the main thing. Basically everything is linked, even your, for the job you need like health insurance, this, and the city registration card. And also, when once you get your resident permit, they'll put a stamp on your visa stating that okay, your residency in this country is increased from 3 months to 1 year. For me, like usually it will be for 2 years. So resident permit is an important thing. Make sure that you go through the checklist and have a valid documents. So what I heard from my friends is that when you go for a resident permit, if you have a work student contract and or scholarship or sponsorship from the university, they won't have a second thought for giving you 2 years. Otherwise they'll be a little reluctant, but yeah, usually you'll get it for 2 years. But yeah, me and Shreyas, we got it only for one. So yeah, we have to apply it again. We need to show relevant funds, and the process repeats. And okay, we are done with the social security number, tax ID. Yeah, cool. So this is the basic process. It has to be done one by one. You cannot directly go to health insurance. You have to go to city registration, then health insurance, link it with TK, then TK gives you number, then you take that number and the card to some nearby doctors, and you can get done with your house arts. And what and all the different kinds of jobs we are doing as a student. So we have work student contract. So these are the contract provided by the companies, like Airbus, Siemens, Tessa, or basically the companies what we have here. And the pay is pretty good here. It starts from 13, probably it might go up to 20 euro per hour. And mini jobs are the jobs where you can work for 450 to 520 euros. And these are the amount which are not taxed, which doesn't come under tax bracket. So mini jobs, you can find it in your university as a research student or a tutor, or even the companies provide mini jobs. It's like, I think you can work only for less than 10 hours or 8 hours. And research assistant, this you can apply directly in the university, or for some labs or the companies where they hire research students, or somebody who's doing the PhD and they need some help with the research. So I have friends who got into research assistant job after their enrollment. You will get to do your enrollment when you are in India. Then if you see some research positions open, or if you are in good contact with your professors or the seniors, get in touch with the professor, then say that you are really interested in what they are doing. Can I get a job? Then yeah, you can start your research assistant job. And there are cases where a student is in India and they have got a job. And part-time jobs are the jobs where you work in McDonald's or KFC, or we have something called Lofrando and uh, Volt, which are the Uber of our India. So you'll be a delivery assistant, or you'll be working in warehouse, and the pay is pretty good here. It goes from 13 euros to almost like 15, 16. So in Hamburg or main cities, every student gets a job. That is like mainly because of part-time jobs and associations like this. We have something called Staffer Cruise, and also we have 2 3 more apps called Job Valley and UCM, where we can book a part-time job for the particular slot, and they'll pay us for a day, and the taxes will be around 10%. But yeah, your main aim is to get either a work student or a research assistant, because it's you'll be getting to learn a lot of things, and you'll be networking with a lot of people. And part-time jobs and yeah, mini jobs does the same work. Yeah, but everybody will be working part-time jobs at one point of time. Uh, Shreyas, any insight on this?
Yeah, covered most of it, Melvin.
Awesome, awesome. So that's it, guys. And you can shoot your questions, or you can unmute and ask your question. Don't hesitate, because we are also students who are in Germany currently studying. We also moved in last semester. It's not like we can have a proper nice conversation, rather than you guys putting questions in the chat.
Yeah, hi Melvin. Hi Shreyas. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, what's
Ah,
up?
uh, I just wanted to know one thing regarding the accommodations.
Mm-hmm.
Is the scenario likely such that where you can book an accommodation or like get an accommodation before you land in Germany itself? Uh, or is it an uncommon scenario where you have to wait for some time to get the accommodation after landing, because that's the main concern here right now.
It depends on your networking skill and the city where you are trying to move to. For Hamburg, a student who is having like amazing networking skills, who knows a lot of seniors, has done his proper homework, they have already landed their housing. Even there are students in Germany who are moving out of student home because student home is only for 1 year. They don't have full-time contract, but I spoke to some students who are in India. They have already landed their accommodation with contract. It depends on skills. At the same time, it's okay even if you don't land accommodation. Just don't panic. Talk to your seniors, get a sublet, and move here. Then you can start searching. It's very easy for you to book an appointment and talk to the landlord. That will be more helpful rather than connecting with them online, texting them now and then, stating that, okay, can you video call me? Can you prove me that you are a real person? And there are a lot of scams which are going on, moreover. So yeah, be careful with that.
Yeah, I
But
think
yeah,
it's like, be proactive with your search, because uh I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well, but yeah. But because there are a lot of ads and a lot of websites we spoke about, you can really land an accommodation there. It's just that you need to make sure you write a proper letter stating why you are the suitable candidate for this house. So basically, it's like an entire interview process just for an accommodation. They want to know why they should give it to you compared to, let's say, the other 50 people who have applied for the ad. So just make sure you make them feel that you're worthy of that house. But nevertheless, even if you don't find an accommodation, you can definitely get a sublet. But also ask them that with the sublet, is it possible to get a city registration? So if that is there, then you're sorted. You can come here and then find an accommodation later. But otherwise, sublet is also definitely an option. Yeah, I had a lot of my friends who were in sublet and probably, let's say, they got an accommodation 4 or 5 months later. So there's nothing to worry about that. Yeah.
Amrita, the best example is Melvin and me here. We
Yeah.
are in the
Yeah,
sublets.
I wanted to
Okay.
say it, but then yeah.
We were
Okay, so
also in the
basically,
same dilemma.
yeah, so I just saw the question box popping up asking what a sublet is. So basically, a sublet is a accommodation place where, for example, like I live in a place right now, but now I'll be out of town for like a month or two, and I just don't want to simply pay rent here. So people will be like, okay, giving this room for sublet, that is like someone else can use this room when during the period of absence, and this is what you call sublet. And sometimes sublets are okay with the landlord, and sometimes sublets are not okay with the landlord. So it's a little bit here and there. So
Mm.
just be careful when you're taking sublets. And there was one more question, which how do I find an accommodation for the first day? Okay, so always talk to your seniors because this is the period where the semester is ending, and most of them will be heading back to India. So there will be seniors who are looking for people to take over their place for at least a month or so, and a month is a very good time to find an accommodation in Hamburg, at least like considering Hamburg situation. So yeah, just make sure you talk to your seniors and find a way to get the sublets.
I guess worst case, if you don't find any of that, you still have like Airbnb. I had a few of my friends who found
Yeah, yeah,
Airbnb.
yeah,
So yeah.
And don't worry, guys, you won't get lost. You have a lot
yeah,
of people here, a lot of seniors who are ready to help, and so just stay in contact with them. And
yeah. I think
so
Atar has a question.
I
He
think
has been.
yes, they
I
have
have a
asked.
question, Melvin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, so I arrived in Germany last week.
Okay.
I'm not getting appointments for a house contract. I mean, to book for the house contract. So
Okay.
can I directly go to the office? I mean, to their place?
Yeah, yeah, you can directly go, but you have to wait. I faced a similar situation. You know what I did? I woke up early in the morning around 5 o'clock every
Okay,
day and started refreshing the page where I want to go to house ads for. There are some people who will cancel at the last moment, and you'll get that
okay,
slot. You can just book it as soon as possible.
okay. If I get the slot on the same day, I can book it and I can visit the office, right?
Yes, yes, yes. But make sure that you wake very early in the morning, then
Yeah.
start refreshing. So I got one slot nearby to my
Stress on the
location.
point of waking up early, Melvin.
Yeah, yeah. So that is one shortcut. Second thing is that don't look for houses which is city registration in a place which is too much popular. You have your semester ticket, travel a little forward and you get it done. So for my current house, I couldn't get any appointment near to the university or anywhere nearby to the popular places. So I booked the city registration around like some 10-20 kilometers away from my house and got it done. Yeah. So the distance and also the timings, you can play with it.
Okay, doesn't matter which area you stay, we can apply in any area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No worries. And guys, here regarding TUHH, and I know that they are asking for your visa approval for accommodation in dorms. And also, there's a question, I have gotten my APS with only 6 semester verified. Can someone from THH inquire about this? There is quite a lot of people that have applied for APS with all the 8 semesters, even German embassy also. I think it's better if you write a mail to administration office. They are very active in THH. They'll guide you through the process. There's a difference between Hiwi and part-time jobs. Hiwi is it's a fixed salary, guys. You'll either get 480 to 520 euros. These are not taxed, and the working hours will be limited. Part-time, it's like you basically will be working for a company which is a non-technical job, where you will be the delivery person or somebody who's working in a place like Zara or New Yorker. Yeah, these are the petty jobs, but you'll get paid a lot. That's one advantage. For research assistant, it depends. Everything starts from 13 euros and it might go up to 19. And for some, like for tutoring positions, they'll pay a lot. I have a roommate who's a maths tutor in our university is getting paid around 21 euros per hour. Oh, what is a sublet? How to find accommodation? I think for accommodation, we'll host some other webinars. But some people say it's a scam. Yeah, be very cautious about the scams. We also got a lot of, even when we are in Germany, we get calls from some people stating that, okay, the accommodation is available, but I'm not there in Hamburg. I've gone to visit Paris, but I can send you the contract. You just have to transfer me deposit of this, that, this, that. Yeah, don't believe in those shit. How much cash do we need to carry to Germany? How much would we need until our blocked account gets activated? So if you have accommodation, carry around some 300 to 400 euros, because it takes like 2 weeks to finish your bank account opening or the other process, and for 2-3 weeks I think 300 would suffice. But if you don't have an accommodation, carry at least 800 to 900 euros. If you don't have accommodation, it depends on you. It might take 1 month or 2 months. Just carry it in your forex card. Temporary private hostels after we land Germany, if yes. I'll post one checklist which has all the websites which are available in Germany for temporary hostels or student hostels. You can go through that. How much cash? Yeah, I think we have answered that. If you have any questions, guys, we have like 10 more minutes. We have to wrap it up because we have exams on Monday, and we just wanted to, give you guys an insight for the right time. I think Atharva has a question.
Yeah, I have a question. Am I
Yeah.
audible?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. So I'm actually flying to Germany next month, and well, you mentioned about all of these sublets and all. What websites? So like I've found Vegig as so far. Are
Mhm.
there any others which one can use to find these sublets or rental contracts?
Yeah, we have Immowelt, we have eBay Kleinanzeigen, and yeah, and
Housing Anywhere. There's Housing Anywhere as well.
Pardon?
There's a website called Housing Anywhere, so you can find accommodations there as well. But I guess it's rather on the expensive side on Housing Anywhere.
Oh, right.
But which university are you moving to?
Well, I'm actually going for student colleagues, so I have to give a lot of outnumbers before. So I just need
Wait,
accommodation for 2 months before.
okay, for which city?
It's not decided yet. So
Okay.
I'm looking across Germany because I have exams across Germany.
Okay, okay. Then do contact the seniors who are there, they will be pretty
Yeah,
helpful
yeah.
because most of the students they are moving to India. This is a holiday time. They have already booked their ticket, so getting a sublet is not a hassle.
All right. Sure.
Yeah, for if you want something for Hamburg, you can either contact me or Shreyas or
Yeah.
yeah.
And what is the expected budget of like a normal accommodation for around a month?
For main cities, it might go from 400 to 500 euros.
Yeah.
And for the lesser known cities, it's around like 250 to 350.
Oh,
Yeah, but if you're finding an accommodation in Berlin, it's definitely going to be like the highest you'll pay. Like I had one of my friend who was in a four sharing apartment in Berlin, and still he pays 650 euros. So yeah, in Berlin you should be prepared to like rather pull mint out more money to them. Yeah, Berlin is
yeah.
really expensive.
Yeah, Berlin, Munich, and Hamburg is also becoming that because of the
It's reaching there. It's reaching there.
yeah, it's reaching there. But yeah, you cannot help it, guys. At the same time, yeah, Akan is also pretty much the same. There are a lot of Indian students. That is also one good thing. You can connect with the community. They'll help you out with the things. Uh, yeah, as I was saying, it's getting expensive. At the same time, it is getting easier for us to land a part-time job or a work student job. So you'll be earning money, but it will be spent on accommodation or other things like that. So there's a question if we are able to get in contact with landlord of a shared room and are able to get an online viewing, is there anything we need to clarify from the landlord or anything before proceeding with the contract? Amrita, do you want to take it?
For me, like, yeah, I was in a similar situation, but the first thing I did was ask him to set me up on a call with the other roommates so we can discuss like what are some things that we expect them to do or don't expect them to do. And also like go through the contract properly. It's going to be like a 20-page contract, but still go through a single word that they have written. And also the deposit, like for me, I knew that the landlord was like genuine because he was my own lecturer, so I did not hesitate to transfer the advance to him beforehand. But if you guys are confident that it is a genuine resource, only then proceed to give them the deposit. Otherwise, do it once you come here. So that is one more thing, so because you don't want to get scammed. But other than that, yeah, it's good. But once you come here and find the accommodation, make sure you follow all the house rules. Otherwise, they won't think twice to pull out money from your deposit. So
Yeah,
just
they're
be careful with that.
some landlords are extremely strict when they say that the house has to be neat. Especially, there are cases where you have to live with your landlord, and there are cases where the landlord lives away from the house, and the whole house will be in your name, and he won't bother you anywhere. So when you live with the landlord, when he tells you not to do things, just better not to do things. When he says that keep it clean, just make sure you keep it clean.
Yeah, I guess all the landlords are specific about keeping things clean. Like now, I'm
Yeah.
already prepared to give 500 euros because I messed up my cooking place. So it's going to cost me 500 euros. It's a tiny scratch. It's bullshit, but still the landlord is like, no, replace it. So
Yeah,
just be careful.
yeah. So, and most of the houses here, I mean, where I stay is like the vintage. So it keeps breaking apart. Yeah. And I think me and Shreyas have to go through this process at the end of the day, I guess. And yeah, so about the ads, guys, what they post in all the website and also in the Facebook groups, if it is too good to be true, then it might be a scam. Some five-star hotels, photos of that, this, it's not like that. I think what we can do is we'll prepare a presentation of how a house will look like or a house or a student dorm will look like and the different scenarios. We'll post it as, as a reference and how much it might cost. You can have a look at it and decide for yourself. If it is too good to be true, be very cautious that nobody will give you a 5-star room for 350 euros or something like that. I faced the same thing when I was in India looking for housing in Hamburg, and it will be definitely a scam. How much hours per day do you do part time? It's usually, yeah, Shreyas has answered that question. 8 hours a day, 20 hours a week. Make sure you stick to that. And when you're on your semester break, you can work for 40 hours if your company allows that. And in part time, usually they'll be very lenient, and you can work 40 hours. And if you have companies like Amazon, oh yeah, sorry, 80 hours. Uh, and if you have companies like Amazon, they'll give you Christmas bonus and stuff. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, and the thing is, put a little more effort on your accommodation, guys. The severity of this is a lot. Uh, it's Don't undermine it. It's very hard to get accommodation. Even seniors here, they are struggling to land one with a proper budget. I was living for 500 euros. Then I started searching for accommodation where I can move towards outskirts of the city because I like some nature kind of a thing. And yeah, I've landed something after 2 months. It's a hassle, especially when it comes to the main cities. So guys, we can extend it till next 10 minutes probably. Shoot your question, just unmute it and talk to us. That would be better.
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Can you please share the link for private student homes, if possible?
Private?
Student homes, which are near TUH, which
Yeah, sure. I have few lists, but yeah, what you can do is, what I would suggest you to do is just open your Google Maps. You can find little small dots of all the private accommodations which are available.
But also, I guess we had that video about accommodation where we mentioned about the private dorm. So you can actually look up on that video and you can find the links there.
in the group, is that the video? I haven't.
We'll post. Which group are you in? Study in Germany or?
That no, that TUH, which official group?
Okay.
Like,
Well, I'll share it with Shreyas. You can go through that video. We have mentioned a lot of private accommodations. Yeah.
mm. And also, if possible, can you please share the links for this working student to find jobs?
That
Um,
that effort you have to put,
yeah,
because it's
yeah.
not easy. You have to go through LinkedIn. You have to go through something called Stellenwork. And what website do you use, Amrita? Job.
A Stepstone.
Yeah, Stepstone is a good one.
Job Valley is if you want a part-time job, right? So if you're looking for a working student, then it's going to be LinkedIn, Job Valley, and LinkedIn, Stepstone, and I guess Stellenwork.
Stellenwork, yeah.
Make sure to update your LinkedIn profile so that if at all the recruiter has to see your profile, then
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, LinkedIn is like really, really, really important in Germany.
Cool.
So I have one more question. I got public health insurance from India, and my age is 30 now. So do I need to take a new health insurance? Sorry, private one, not the public one. I got the private health insurance from India. So do I need to take a new health insurance here?
which health insurance did you take?
Care.
Okay, I am not sure. Is it accepted in Germany? I'm not sure
I
about
mean,
that.
it was accepted by my university. They told
Okay.
it is okay, and I got it while I was booking for the VFS.
Okay. No, the reason why we are asking is sometimes like it might be accepted in Germany, but you will have to go through a lot of paperwork later when you have to like use it here. So That is why we just wanted to know what company it is. Is it a German company or is it like
No, it is
somewhere
not a
from?
German company. It is I don't know but the company name is Care. I got this in India in online.
Okay. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it's a
Like
tricky
it's something
question
new that we are coming across right now.
Okay,
because
so for 30 years of like age, which private health insurance is good in Germany?
they have Dr.
Hmm.
Walter and also what Coracle is providing. We
Coracle, I
Uh,
think they are providing for below 30.
no, they provide for above 30 as well.
yeah, they have
Oh,
some
okay.
nice
Is it?
tie-ups. Yeah, what you can do
Okay.
is you
Drop
Hmm.
can
drop a
ma-
mail to the
yeah,
support team.
support team, they'll reply to you as soon as possible. Just make sure that you explain to them, I am so and so year old, I have this insurance, and I was thinking that to upgrade it to this. At the same time, write to your existing insurance provider that I'm moving to Germany with this. Is it valid in this city? So, then you'll get a proper answer, I guess. And stay in touch with us so that we will also be updated with this information. This is some special case which we,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Okay. Any more questions?
Yeah, hi.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. So actually, I'm going for IU. So it's a private university, as you must be knowing, right? So they gave me the option of either the Berlin campus or the Bad Honnef campus. So I was wondering which one I should choose, and like the factors that I think that should be considered has to be accommodation and availability of part-time jobs. So what would you recommend?
We cannot recommend anything, it depends on your personal choices and where you have.
Personal choice.
Yeah, so if you're, for me, I don't party a lot, I don't go out a lot, so it's okay for me to stay in a proper, like quiet place. And if you want to experience a proper culture and the diversity, then yeah, you can move to main cities like Hamburg or Berlin. Berlin is like extremely active and it's way too lively, so people like to stay
I
there.
see.
Yeah, so it depends completely on you.
I mean, I'm not into all those stuff. I'm just like, I was just wondering, like, I think, will the accommodation be cheaper in Bad Honnef, like a small town? Will the accommodation would be as
Yeah,
compared to Berlin,
when
of
it
course?
when it come
Definitely, it's going to
yeah
be cheaper. Trust me.
when you compare anything to Berlin, then it's gonna be cheaper because Berlin has a one thing. It's a very diverse culture. People want to live in Berlin at one point of time. So the
Oh,
accommodation is very scarce there. At the same time, there are a lot of private and public universities in Berlin. So the amount of students moving to the places are very much high. It's very hard to land a accommodation. So
okay.
start connecting with your seniors. Ask them what is the
Hmm.
chances of landing accommodation and how
Hmm.
long it might take. At the same time, ask them that what part-time jobs are you doing? How are you trying to manage your expenses? If that is feasible with you and you're ready to put in the same amount of efforts what your seniors are putting in, then
Hmm.
yeah, I think you can get a proper conclusion from this.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
It's
maybe Melvin, I can add bit more to this when it
okay.
comes to job prospects. So, hi, Prakash. So, if you are looking for jobs that are more front facing, with like marketing, sales, or something of that sort, then I would say like l- prioritize yourself around Berlin and all because you will have to talk to people, seniors, and even future clients if the work demands so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But if that is not the case, if you can work remotely or like it doesn't involve too much of traveling and anything of that sort, then you can start moving to little far outside the cities as well. Because the front facing jobs, they require a lot of networking and communication skills that
Hmm.
only a metro or a industrialized city can provide.
Yeah, makes sense. So, I mean, I think Bad Honnef is like 30 minutes away from Bonn, as it says on the internet. So, I'm not sure, like, is it feasible to travel from Bonn to Bad Honnef on a daily basis?
We actually have friends who travel like 1 hour, who stay in a different city and
Yeah.
travel 1 hour every day. But yeah, 30 minutes is definitely not a problem, I guess.
It depends on your criteria, Prakash. You might feel like, okay, why do I have to do all this thing? Why do I have to go through all this hassle? And yeah,
Mm,
sometimes there are students who are very dedicated enough. We have a friend who stays in Lohnberg, which is a different city, and he travels to university every day. He wakes up early in the morning around 5:30, then he starts his journey around 7. He'll be in the university by 9. Yeah, it depends from student to student. At the same time,
mm,
I don't want to do that. I want to stay away from the university at the same time, not like too far away from the university. So
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it depends on your criteria. And
Okay.
also, Aditya, can you brief us a little about the current situation in Europe and how the job market is? We have like next 10 minutes, so it would be very insightful, because you have already went through the hassle of trying to find a full-time job, probably in all across the Europe. And yeah, over to you.
Yeah. So I don't know how many of you are aware of it, but Europe as a collectively, it's under recession. And the biggest contributor are like Germany and Spain to it. So finding a full-time job is going to be a challenge, at least in the next 1 year. But all hopes is not lost. I think the economy is opening up and so on and so forth. For me, it was particularly challenging because I was changing I did not have the right background. So I had to do a master's and also have to build my profile along with it. Plus, it was a 1 year short course. So I have to do multiple things together and learn the language as well. So far, I had sent out like some 1,500 applications and finally landed one. So don't lose hope when you are not getting calls, and like it's all about a learning process. But at the same time, what I would say is like have different profiles ready with the current experience that you have. Like make one for marketing, one for like the technical skills you have, one for the finance skills, so on and so forth. And then customize each and every CV based on the job description that is being provided. So at least 60 to 70% of your entire CV should match exactly what the job description is asking for. Don't put in like CV is not something that you tell about yourself. It's about what the recruiter wants to see in you, and provide only only those relevant information. And a CV should not exceed a page length of one. It has all of your information, technical skills, whatever that you want to put in. It has to start and end in the same page itself. So that's the key thing. And have your LinkedIn profile ready and optimized so that if I search your name, it has to be in the top 10 results on the LinkedIn. And that will boost up your chances of landing the job. And the best way to get in would be to find internships and then convert them into full time jobs. So I don't know, like internships is being called different names. Like I don't know if it's the work seems to work student or apprenticeship or some of that sort, because the entry barrier for internships are quite low compared to full time jobs. As because for full time jobs you would be competing with not just Germans, also Indians living in Germany from the top colleges.
Awesome, awesome. So, thanks for the insight, Aditya, and thanks for joining us today on a very short notice. It was really insightful. So, every time when I'm in a confusion about how to modify my CV or how should I write to this recruiter, so Aditya is the one whom I reach out to. So thanks for joining, guys. If you have any more questions, join the group. You can connect with me and Amrita. At the same time, you're just one step closer to the next process, and yeah, it's all the hardship, but yeah, it's gonna end soon. So stay hustling, take care of yourself. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Amruta. Thanks, Shreyas, for joining.
Thank you guys for clearing all the doubts.
Awesome.
Have a good day.
Take care.
Fine.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.